This is my happy face. Actually, this is my tired face because I was up rather late last night and I was doing some filming stuff with the GoPro and the GoPro Hero 11 to be exact. But, you know, I stumbled across a post today and was somebody complaining again about overheating of the GoPro. Wondering, hey, did they fix that GoPro overheating problem with the Hero 10? I never had an overheating problem. Some other person chimed in and said, oh, are you kidding me? It overheats at 1080p and overheats at 2.7K. Maybe you should share your settings since you're such a good-looking, handsome expert with years of experience and lots of knowledge. Maybe I might just add out one or two lines myself. But the point is, I said, yeah, sure. I shared my settings with him and hopefully he pays attention. But kind of back to the other one. You know, I never had an overheating issue with the GoPro Hero 10, and I've actually done a couple of videos on that. If you watch the GoPro Enduro battery test, I had that GoPro Hero 10 running at 4K 30 frames per second using an Enduro battery in a static environment, no wind moving over it, for an hour and 33 minutes. You know, so I think that pretty much says there is no overheating problem if you set your camera up properly and use the proper settings. But anyway, this is about the GoPro Hero 11. Does it actually have an overheating problem? Well, guess what? We're about to find out. This is DemonView. Okay, welcome back to the channel. I appreciate you tuning in. Hope you can't really hear the noise in the background because the AC is going, and hey, you know, it's kind of just right over there. So hopefully this nice microphone, which is a Yeti by the way, will do the trick and hopefully you can hear everything. Point is, everybody I know hates doing battery tests and overheating videos because they're just so long and time consuming. But hey, if people want it, you kind of have to do it. So here's what's going to happen. I'm going to do an overheating test on the GoPro Hero 11. I have it set up in the photo booth over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to like switch over to the booth camera now. Boo! There we go. And we're going to do an overheating test, see how long we can record for. As you can see, it's in a static environment. There is no wind in there. There is no fan in there. I mean, hey, back to here. Hey. Like I said, there's no wind in there. There's no fan. There's no cooling elements. I'm in the garage right now, and I think it's about 72 degrees. It's warm because there's no AC in the garage itself. All the ducts go into the house, so it's warm in here, and it's only getting warmer. So what we're going to do is we're going to just like power on the camera and start recording and see how long it records for. Now, it is set up for 4K. It is set up for 30 frames per second. I'm in the extended battery mode because I really want to see how long I can get out of the Enduro battery so I can compare it to my previous test. And the only other adjustments I did, GPS is turned off and Hypersmooth is turned off. Why? Because it's on a tripod, for crying out loud. It's not going anywhere, don't need GPS. It's not going anywhere, don't need Hypersmooth. So they're off. Wireless connections are still turned on though, but and I don't know what the extended battery settings on this one. With the tripod mode on the Hero 10, it did disable background features like gyroscopic logging, all that type of thing. I don't know if the Hero 11 does that. I really don't, but we're just going to do a test anyway, using the extended battery mode in 4K, 30 frames per second with Hypersmooth and whatever the hell it was. What else did I say I turned off? I'm tired. I'm very tired, and I haven't even showered and shaved yet. So while this is recording, I'm going to go shower and shave. Do my pretty hair. Anyway, if you appreciate this video and appreciate all the effort and time I'm taking, and the obvious sarcasm, you know, please click that like button, please click that subscribe button. It really does help with channel views, and I really do appreciate it. So I'm going to switch over to the booth camera now. The camera has powered on because I'm powering it on, hold on, via the Quick app. So there we go. In fact, I don't know if you can see this. I wish I had a little mouse pointer thing you could see. Oh, one more thing. The screens are set to turn off after 1 minute as well. I think they should have been set up to turn off after 1 minute because, let's see, screensaver 1 minute. And the brightness is down to 10% because they're things that I recommended in my previous video. So, are we ready? Let's go. Okay, I'm back. I've showered, I've shaved, I've misbehaved. I've just finished the GoPro Hero 11 heating test. And interestingly enough, I've got some things to say. Did this camera overheat? Yes, it did. It shut down because it overheat, the nasty little sod. But when did it overheat? After 57 minutes. Yeah, 57 minutes of recording in 4K 30 frames per second. And yeah, that's more than long enough to be recording in 4K 30 frames per second. You might be thinking, well, what if I'm going on a really long road trip and I need to record longer than that? The camera's just going to overheat and shut down. No, because if you're going on a road trip, you mount it on the outside of your vehicle and it's going to stay cooler. What if I'm recording a baseball game? Yeah, why would you want it? But anyway, that's my personal feeling about the exciting world of baseball. But yeah, some people may want to do stuff like that, in which case you're going to remove the internal battery, hook up an external power supply, it's going to run cooler, and it's not going to overheat. These are just kind of like simply facty bits, and this is how I act when I'm wrecked tired. So anyway, yeah, I'm very impressed that this lasted 57 minutes without overheating. Now, the thing is, I did run this in extended battery mode, and I was a bit surprised that extended battery mode doesn't automatically disable Hypersmooth or GPS. I think this GoPro Hero 11 could probably benefit from a firmware upgrade that did the exact same thing it did to the Hero 10, which was introduce a tripod mode. If you introduce a tripod mounted mode on this, one that disables the Hypersmooth and the GPS automatically, but also does what the Hero 10 did, which was also disable stuff like gyro logging and other stuff in the background, yeah, I reckon this thing could keep going until the battery runs dead. Now, that was in, like I said, extended battery mode. It wasn't in easy mode or anything like that, where you don't have a whole bunch of settings to choose from. It just records video and that's it. But I'm suspecting that probably wouldn't last as long. I'm thinking that's more like 5.3K, probably 60 frames a second, and just shoots. I don't know. The interesting thing was there was 34% in that battery remaining when I powered back on the GoPro. So yeah, this thing could have a good bit of battery life in it, but for me, recording for nearly an hour in 4K without a single cut or anything like that, no. No, just no. That just doesn't get done. If you're going on a road trip and you want to record footage, I mean, that's when you start doing things like time-lapse or time warp or stuff like that, because nobody's going to go and sit down for an hour to watch 4K footage. I mean, you're thinking, well, you watch a movie in 4K. Yeah, but a movie's made up of all different camera units, different cuts, actually has a script and stuff. If I was to put this in my car and just drive for an hour, who the hell would watch it? Nobody. Even with like your baseball game or your football game that you want to record, people are going to probably sit down and watch it for an hour. They're probably going to start skipping through it. I mean, this is why you have advertisements and breaks and stuff. So anyway, there's my conclusion for this. Yes, it overheated at 57 minutes and shut down, but for me, that's more than long enough. And like I said, there was no active airflow on that. That was sitting on a tripod in an enclosed space. If I were to run this in the same settings and have it mounted on my car, yeah, it would probably just keep on going until the battery ran dead. Would I do that? No, I wouldn't, because that's far too long to be recording. So, in conclusion, okay, yes, it does run a bit hotter than the Hero 10. I'm not surprised. It's got more stuff to do. It's got a larger sensor and all that type of jazz going on. So, yeah, I'm still perfectly happy with this. What I'm really happy with is how responsive it is to the actual GoPro Quick app. The Hero 10 is also fantastic for responding to it, and that's a huge leg up over the GoPro Hero 9. So, I hope you've liked this video. I hope you appreciate the time and effort it took to make it, and the fact that I didn't have my afternoon nap and I'm really tired because I stayed up way too late, got up way too early, and yeah, there we go. So please click on that like button, please click on the subscribe button. Hopefully I'm going to have a more interesting video for you later on, because I'm going to work on something tonight, and it's to do with the light painting mode. I did throw up a GoPro short about that if you haven't watched it, and it might give you a hint of what I'm doing. The first part of that video was light painting, the second bits were the taillight settings. So tonight I'm going to do light painting, but I'm going to do it in a very specific way, and I'm hoping it works out. So keep an eye out for that, because if it does work out, I'm going to show you exactly how to do it yourselves. So in the meantime, I appreciate you watching this very long video, and I really hope there was some useful information in there. Until next time, cheerio. And next time I'll actually have the mouse over the stop button to stop recording rather than say cheerio and then stare at the screen for about 20 seconds while I hunt around for that button.